Massenomics. Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah.
Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Massenomics podcast. I am Tyler, joined as always by Tommy.
What's up?
And Tanner.
Hey, everybody.
Just so you know, Professor Shans is still on the team. He just lives far away.
And if you don't know about Professor Shans,
you better ask somebody.
follow him on Instagram. He needs a third follower.
Yeah, that's a question. Has he been doing the Instagram thing much?
I haven't seen anything for
Very
quite
minimal,
a while now.
But I'd say he's not completely off the radar, but he's close.
Has he?
I think his last post was Massenomics related,
Yeah,
though, wasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
Listen, guys, I don't know what the best approach is. Do we solicit dick pics to Shans?
Yeah, hit him in the. I don't know if he'll know how to check his DMs.
Yeah,
or not, but
that might be the.
Well, that'll be really funny then, because guys, fill up his DMs with D's, and then at the very least, we'll teach him how to check it next time we see him, and he'll have just this awful onslaught. We'll burn him off the Instagram.
This kind of sounds like you're scheming to see some dick pics, Tyler.
I just can't get enough.
master plan. It's coming out in the 86th
get-
week. It's
I've
finally.
been waiting. I've been waiting.
I'm in a position of
6
power.
weeks now. We
start soliciting.
now have actually as many listeners as we used to joke about that we have. When we used to pretend that we had a lot of listeners,
Yeah.
that's now how many people are listening.
Just think how many we're going to have to pretend we have now, though.
400 million. We're talking Super Bowl numbers.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan ain't got shit. But yeah, anyway, so send Shans all pictures of your genitals. And where are we going to launch here this week? Oh, we were talking earlier about, so Brian Shaw's been releasing some like super gnarly.
Yeah, I think this
Rip
is some
stuff.
of the most impressive low-key strength feats that are just going to fly under the radar for 99.9% of people. But these are blowing my mind. And these are Brian Shaw's Instagram grip strength videos.
Yep.
And the very first one, I had to watch like 5 times because I thought for sure I wasn't. There was
Understanding it
something
correctly.
happening that my brain was missing, but it was just that impressive. And Tanner, you might know the numbers better, but he took a 45-pound plate.
Yeah.
He had the side, with the lip, the groove to it was up.
The hub.
Where
Yeah.
you could see the actual numbers imprinted in. And he had that side up. And then did he have 4 10-pound plates on it?
He had 3 5s on it.
Yeah,
3
they're
5s on it.
fives.
Okay, he had 3 5s laying on like the rim of this thing in
Yeah.
kind of, a triangle shape. And he just grabbed the inside hub of the plate where, I don't know, is that lip like a half an inch, a quarter inch?
There's not much there.
And he picked it up, and I thought, well, I'm not seeing something right. I thought like the plates were attached to it, and there was like something else in there. And I kept watching and watching. I'm like, he's literally grabbing that on that quarter-inch lip and lifting. So what is that? 60 pounds?
Yep.
Yeah.
And lifting that.
Yep.
And
Did you guys try it?
I just tried to just wrap my fingers in that position, and he never even tried it because I'm like, I don't know how it's doable.
So I tried it with 60, and it was really not moving.
Yeah.
And I have an elbow thing, so that, like, literally that type of thing hurts so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to try it without these 5s on it then. So I tried it at 45 pounds, and I got it off the ground about an inch, and then it slipped out. I do feel, I know, fucking like tendonitis. If I was having a good tendonitis day, that I believe I could get the 45
Maybe to the correct height.
Up is tough. You know what I mean? Because it's got to be away from your body because it's a 45 pound plate.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
Oh, yeah, right.
I do believe I could get it like a foot off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain plate selection is also important.
He's very specific about his things. The other one he did with.
Well, so this is feat number 1. So that one's tricky. Number 2, I don't like the first one we talked about. I think that's assuming you have the insane strength.
And you have to have so big a hand.
Well, is that first one, are massive hands needed for that first one?
I believe
okay.
so. Yeah. Because what it is it's also surface area of fingers that's on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you need as much friction as you can to then squeeze. And if you have little fingertips or small pads, like you're getting half the coverage.
Yeah. Well, this next one is without a doubt absolutely dependent on massive hands. The second one. So he had the old antique style 60-pound York dumbbell, I believe, which is the exact one we got down in the gym.
We have that exact same 60-pound York dumbbell at the gym.
Broken or together?
No,
it is together.
We have
it is literally the exact one he used in the video, and I think he talks about how he's like, oh, it's kind of an old antique dumbbell. And pretty cool that we have it.
It's the round head Yorks, is what they're.
We have a bunch of broken ones similar to it.
And what do you call that? Like, is that like a cast plate when it's like that, or a when it's just all one thing?
Yeah,
I don't know what the name is for it, but
I'm not sure.
Anyways, he takes this one, he grabs it by the head, which is the 60-pound one has a fairly large end to it. It's big. It's hard to hold on to, and he takes it, picks it up,
and just to pick it up like that
is impressive on its own.
Hard.
And then
that would be really hard.
Yeah, once he has it picked up on the end, he flips it in the air and catches it out of the air.
With his other hand.
Yeah.
What?
And
out of midair, he rotates it once and snatches it.
So now you have 60 pounds almost in free fall, and he's grabbing it.
And if you go and just pick up by the handle, just pick up that 60-pound dumbbell, you'll be like, what? Like, that just doesn't even...
Yeah, and then so I was thinking, like, well, maybe I can do just the end because we have the blob set.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the blobs, because the blobs we have, they don't have the weight on them.
And they're just half of it.
First one I can get easy every time. Second one, if I have chalk on, I'm not too tired, I can usually get that one. But I don't think that second one is the same size as the 60-pound head.
It's
I could
even
be wrong.
as big as the 60.
I don't know. Yeah. They're just really, really hard to hold on to. And there I feel like the limiting factor is just the sheer size of that roundness, getting your hand around it.
Yeah, if your hands aren't big, like, you can't even...
Yeah.
Like...
You're not even going to get your fingertips.
And that's your fingertips have to be able to bend around it, and if that's just not physically possible.
And that's why when I see every single one of these, I think like maybe Tyler has a shot because he's like, yeah. The first one he said, if someone can do this, I better get you a plane ticket, or a steak or a plane ticket out here or something.
I'd like to see anyone else do that 60-pound dumbbell thing of grabbing it out of midair. I mean, if you just pick up and hold a 60-pound dumbbell, imagine just fingertip grabbing an end of it out of the midair. In my opinion,
imagine throwing it and then just grabbing it by the handle.
Catching it.
You're like, fuck. Yeah, it's like, 60 pounds,
And like he's literally just grabbing it like on just the tippy top of it.
And it doesn't seem to me when he does those things like he's like, oh, sweet, I got it that time.
Oh, he's like talking and doing it like it's just run of the mill.
Yeah. Which, it's like he does it every morning before he eats breakfast or something.
I don't think he's at the upper end of his limit. Like, he's got some crazy tricks up his sleeve. And I'd love to see him keep pumping these out.
I think Shaw embraces a lot of the, like, old school strongman stuff.
I kind of get that impression.
I think he puts a lot, actually, into that, like
the craft of it,
crafty grip stuff. Like, I think he's always been the guy that was like a really good grip guy.
Yeah, and
it's almost weird. There's not a lot of grip events at his level, mainly because they're not very good shows.
Yeah,
it's not a great show.
Yeah,
short of like an unstrapped farmer's carry. That would have to be so heavy for those guys.
Yeah,
like if they did like the frame at the Arnold without straps, that'd be a grip testing event. Kind of. But then that would suck balls to watch. If they drop 1,000 pounds every 3 feet.
Like the winner would have gone 5 feet. Like, okay, and then so today he had the third one, and this one I've seen before.
Yeah,
but this is the one that's probably easiest to do in your own gym, and you can kind of scale this one to work for you too. So what he did, just took two 45-pound plates. Smooth sides out. He sandwiched them together. You just go and you just pinch them on the smooth ends with one hand and pick them up. And he literally does this while he's like talking and having a conversation. Like it's not even a thing for him. And so then he, throws out the challenge for people to try it. He says, try 25s, 35s, whatever. So we're at the gym tonight, grab 25s. 25's not a problem at all. Both hands. I'm like, hey, feeling pretty good. And I should also say that I don't have grip strength. Like I'm not a grip guy. You guys both beat me like by miles in this category. And then so I go to the 35s and could just barely like right at the point of the 35s breaking the ground. It just slides out. It's not a thing. And so then thinking like, oh, well, I can't get the 35s. I'll use the 15-kilo plates.
Oh,
which is 33 pounds. So I don't think I did myself much of a favor there.
Well, they
and
should be
also
thinner,
coated.
though, too.
They're thinner, but they're also coated in some really slick paint.
Yeah,
and those things
You
weren't
should have
moving
just
at all.
taken the brush and roughed them up a little bit.
Yeah. So I scratched them up on the rocks outside, and I grabbed them. Now.
Out of the 3 that he did, that's got to be the easiest.
I would assume, yeah.
Because I've seen multiple people do like 35s. Like, I mean, not that it's easy, but like just people can do that. Yeah.
Couldn't do the 45s. What was the other one we did with the 10s stacked together?
That was just
as
many as you could pinch
5.
together.
I don't remember what I got.
I can't
with
remember.
That,
that's on Instagram somewhere too. Maybe 5 or 6 10s or something like that. But see, even with that plate pinch, he's specific about the plates.
Yeah.
He says the milled
the milled
York
plate.
45s, which we have.
Well,
those.
and that's what I noticed right away is because, any
if it's
gym,
not
you'll
the
notice
milled
this,
ones,
but
they're a little glossy.
yeah, we have some in the gym that have like a high gloss finish to them.
Yeah.
We have some that are about as rough of a finish as you could have to them too, and even that it makes a big difference.
Yep. But out of the 3, that's got to be, even with 45s, not saying that that's easy, but out of the 3 things he did there, that's the, you can find people
having
who do
not
that.
tried it, I think catching the dumbbell has to be the hardest
That one is
because that's precision.
just, like, since we have that exact dumbbell, and like the day I saw that, I went there and I went and grabbed that just to like better understand that, and I was like,
never mind. This is
just
impossible.
well, that just blows my mind that anyone, even him, like it blows my mind that even he can do that.
And I think part of this where it's just so like shocking to me is it's a little more relatable. Like I'm never going to know what a 900-pound deadlift feels like. I'm never going to know what an 800-pound deadlift feels like. Like it's just like they're just
not with that fucking attitude.
It's just so far beyond anything that's relatable to almost anyone that it's just hard to even comprehend anymore.
Yeah.
But this, it's like, I can get this in the gym and see how I can't even do a thing with it.
Yeah.
And it's not like this. It's not like a stack of 10 plates. It's just this like 60-pound weight that kind of almost fits in your hand, but you can't budge it.
And grip when you can't.
And with grip, there's a
it's
huge
just
difference between nothing. Like that day we were playing with the Rolling Thunder. Is that what it is, right?
Yeah.
And there was a certain weight where it came off the ground like nothing, and only a few more pounds on it didn't budge.
Yeah, it could have been like 5,000
Yeah,
pounds.
and that's kind of grip for you. It's not like bench where you were halfway up but didn't get
almost
it.
made it. With grip, it's just not happening most of the time. In related news, kind of got back from Vegas at Strongman Nationals.
Wait a second, isn't it supposed to stay in Vegas or?
Nah.
Yeah, are you allowed to talk about this?
Vegas is going to call
is
and
like literally the worst place in the fucking world to go. It's such a pain in the ass.
It depends on what you're trying to do there, I think.
Like if you're going there to just party, even then it's pretty inconvenient.
Oh,
like,
it does take a certain level of planning. Like it's not like you head down to your neighborhood bar and just start drinking.
No, it's like you go down to what you think is your neighborhood bar, and it's $24 for your first drink, and you're like, wait, what? And now you're like, well, I guess I have to walk really far away from this place, and that's impossible too. Because a block in Vegas is like a 45-minute walk. It took us 20 minutes to get to our parking garage.
And you'll look and be like, oh, it's just right there, and then you get to walking and you're like, we've been walking for like 20 minutes.
Like
How
the
we're not any
sidewalk
closer?
is on this like treadmill that just like stuffs you into some other overpriced shithole. And I mean, as far as Vegas goes, I'd be pretty happy if I never had to go back. I'm cheap, and I hate really touristy places.
That's a terrible place to be.
And I hate getting like solicited like out of the blue from strangers.
Well, that's all they.
Which is like all Vegas is. And nobody's ever soliciting you for anything cool. It's like, hey, how long are you in town? Don't fucking ask me that. But anyway, Megan had Strongman Nationals there. If you look her up on Instagram, it's at Quads Like Megan. I was there as the super coach, who had no idea what he was doing.
Did you get a pass or something?
Yeah. It just said coach, but
you put the super on it though.
Yes. Yeah. But they had so Nationals was my first time at Nationals. What the interesting thing to me was, it was their 20th anniversary, which is why it was in Vegas. I think it was in like Iowa last year.
Oh, see, I assume this was a Vegas thing every year. Okay.
So I think they tried to go big with it. But it's interesting because while it is nationals, it's a big event, like 275 competitors.
This is across guys and girls, the 275?
Yep. I'm certain that we had more volunteers at our strongman competition.
Really?
With 12 competitors.
This is turning into a recurring theme.
Are you saying that as a slight exaggeration or
no?
almost
I'm
true?
legit. Like, how many volunteers do you suppose we had? 15, 20?
Yeah, altogether probably 15.
Between scorekeepers and all that stuff.
I mean, they maybe had 10 judges, the 2 people that were running the show, and some people running the score deal, and those same people were the ones moving the weights around. So, like, yeah, I mean, we were probably almost 1-to-1 as far as that. And, like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So there was some stuff that maybe got moved, like, you know, like the log weights were announced to be lighter, and then they announced that they just weren't going to be. Mm-hmm. But they didn't announce it, like, any moment other than, like, when the ladies are walking out. They're like, oh, it's 170 now. Like, what? Which is a bad way to
mentally go into it.
And so,
like, oh, just kidding, it's heavier than what you thought.
Ha ha ha. Remember how you were hoping to maybe get one at 160? Not fucking happening.
Yeah.
A couple other things, like they had to change the yoke and farmers medley to just a yoke run. They were only allowed change the rules. They're only allowed 1 drop on the yoke because they didn't want people scuffing up the fucking floors, as though that event was just magically drawn out of thin air the day of the competition, or like the venue came up the day before. It's like we fucking knew, the hotel knew, like send them a picture of what a yoke run and be like, is your floor gonna be cool with this?
So you think someone at the hotel staff was
definitely.
like, oh no,
whoa, you guys
and what did they think was
so
coming?
So what they did is after the
there?
first event, they did the log, and then it was supposed to be the yoke and farmers, and then they basically didn't have a solution for that, so they just were like, fuck it, yoke and farmers is tomorrow. We'll go right into frame deadlift now.
So you found that out like after the log press?
Yeah, they were like, next event's the fucking deadlift. What? Okay. So like, for real, like you could have left shit in your hotel room. What if you weren't staying there?
Yeah.
Like, well, we sure aren't deadlifting today. Maybe I don't need my
straps
to do fucking yoke and farmers, and you know. So anyway, it was just, and then they ended up fucking after the next day or during the next day, they just said no farmers, and they just taped carpet to the bottom of the yokes, and you can only have 1 drop, which was put on them the night before. They're going, sorry, you can only drop it once, and it kind of changes people's runs, changes the way you approach it.
Yeah.
Changes your advantage. So what if you were?
What if you're an excellent farmer?
What if you're good? What if a heavy farmer's carry is where you do make up your ground? Because now instead,
like, I'm not
what
great
you
at
have,
the yoke.
yeah, what you have is a log, and then you have a strapped-in fucking frame deadlift, and then you have a straight-up yoke run, and then you had stones, and what was the other one?
Husafel.
The Husafel. So like, you had nothing that you had to have a thing in your fucking hands.
Right.
Yeah. Really.
Right. No, that's true. There's
and
no
so,
grip
like,
element.
Yeah, there's nothing. And so, and for Megan specifically, that was like, the farmers was where I think not that she was gonna like win it, but like that was her best event. That was her best event. So if your best event gets unplugged, like, you kind of can be a little upset.
And I understand that like everyone has to do it's the same
so it was
for everyone.
Unfair to everybody.
But
it's also nationals.
Yeah, and what I would say is like all the people competing are like, they're not getting their way paid there.
No.
They're paying quite a bit of money to go. Yeah. And like, if the expectation is that beforehand you release the events and that's what the events are going to be, it's pretty annoying if you spend all the money to do it and to be there, and then it's different.
Really
or maybe even spent money training and getting those implements.
But I do understand if
you bought a fucking farmer's set that you wouldn't have
they
bought.
use for. I understand if they say, hey, nobody knows the events until we get here.
Yep.
Then that's the scenario. But that's not what it's like here. So I can see that upsetting people.
It's like going to the Super Bowl and being like, hey, guys, we don't have any footballs, so we're playing with basketball. Yeah, it's shitty for everybody, but, like, it's the fucking Super Bowl.
I figured you'd
bring
have footballs.
I don't know. And, they had, High Temp sponsored they provided the Husafel. They sponsored, like, the bumper plates and shit. But other than the log, like, you don't need bumpers. So on the frame deadlifts, when these guys have 900 pounds on them, it's
I saw that of bumpers.
And so there's bumpers and clips flying
I
off,
saw that.
and they're having to race to get them put back on. It's costing guys reps while they're trying to put weight back on. It's like, why don't you put fucking steel plates on there?
Yeah.
But they had a sponsor. Well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I did notice that
Yeah,
too. That
so-
they looked like they were stacked to the ceiling.
And don't get me wrong. Literally, the last thing in the world I would want to do would be to put on an event like that.
Oh, that would be a
Because you'd
nightmare
be
with
so
that many
good at it.
people.
No, and I'm literally not saying that I would do a better job at it.
Yeah.
I'm
that
the same.
would be an
And
absolute nightmare.
And trying to like orchestrate it across the country if you don't live there too.
Yeah, it
like,
would
it's-
suck. It was totally blown. You got to bring equipment and sponsors, and
I can't even imagine.
I totally feel their pain, but also I don't have that job because I wouldn't be good at that job.
Yeah.
I look at it the same way as when I used to bitch about referees at like City League basketball. I'd be like, "You're so bad at this. Why the fuck are you doing this?" You know what I mean? Like, if I'm probably worse at refereeing than you, but guess who's not fucking refereeing? You know what I mean? And so, and not that they were terrible, and I think they had good volunteers and they had a good bunch. It's just one of those things where
It would be an awfully hard job.
It's just
to do,
it's a
like-
big beast.
it's a big beast. And fuck, you know how 275 people, you're herding cattle.
Yeah.
It's all strong. Everybody's got an ego, and 90% of us smell bad, and you know, most people have shitty attitudes.
Yeah.
And
Did you
not
hear
all,
much
but
complaining about some of that
there
stuff
was
amongst
enough
the competitors?
grumbling. I mean, respect. Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
literally, what was the one change we've had in 2 years at our competition? Instead of running the farmers' handles 2 guys at a time,
Yeah.
we did one. Instead of being head to head, it was one.
I honestly, that's the only
and that was
mishap that we've
and
had.
for us, that's like a tragedy.
Yeah,
We're
and
like,
I could have like crawled into a hole and just like shot myself in the head. I was so like distraught over.
It accounted for a
the
2 minute and 30-second time delay.
The one detail in 2 years that Tanner didn't have completely ironed out. But anyway, aside from it all, I mean, it was nice. It was a good deal. But let's in order. Megan did the log, got 0.
She cleaned it pretty good, or
She was able to get the clean pretty good once she got used to what it weighed. You know?
what did people say about the MB Power Center logs? Like,
Some griping about it. I didn't handle it. For Megan,
Yeah.
it was fine. It was.
but did you hear people?
She thought
you
it
did
felt
hear
good.
people talk
Yeah,
about
some
it a
people
little
weren't
bit, though?
super into them.
With what? What's the reasoning there?
I don't
even
know.
know.
But I've just heard that some people say they're
I don't know if
harder.
they thought
or
there was
that,
like
I don't
maybe
know.
something with the openings or like some extra metal in places. Truthfully, I didn't give them even a look.
Yeah.
It was not
They
my
looked like
job to
logs.
handle.
Did
them.
you
They
say,
looked
guys,
like
I've
logs.
handled one made of wood, so you have no right to complain?
Listen, I used
Not
one
one
that was,
made of wood, but like one that just
tree.
is a tree.
was a tree. So all
So
you
you said,
divas-
"You complainers."
That was actually my favorite thing. So when they did weigh-ins, and it was in like the theater up there where they have like
Where is this actually at?
at the Link Hotel on the Strip.
I
Right
figured it was in the
between-
MGM Grand.
is it in, like,
the
their-
boxing arena?
So they have a
They have like a convention center in there.
up at the top. They have what's called the block. The Link Hotel pisses me off. Everything that is a K or a CK,
is
they
a
spell
Q.
with a Q.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. So they have what's called the block, which is this big wide open space where they probably do have meetings and receptions and shit like that. It's also done like to look all fake and hardcore. Like you walk up and you look at it and you're like, damn, this is cool. There's like poured concrete walls and shit. And you go and it's concrete looking wallpaper on sheetrock. And you're like, you fake ass fucking posers. And anyway, but it was a nice space. Still too small. Still not enough seating.
Like, how many people do you think are at this thing?
Hard to say.
Spectator.
275 athletes, probably about 500 total with coaches, and then maybe another 500 specs. Probably like 1,000 people, 2,000 people maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say.
There's not going to be that many people there to watch it that aren't like a coach or the
Yeah,
mom or the
basically,
husband or
basically, because it's
the entourage
2
of
fucking days.
lifters.
Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, just as a fan of the sport, frankly, I didn't even watch much of the men compete unless I was waiting for Megan. When she got done, I would like peace out to the hotel because it's 3 hours between events, and I was tired of being on my feet and not having anywhere to sit. But so then they went on to the, like I think half the field zeroed the log. Then they go to the frame deadlift. It was a 480-pound frame deadlift, which is a lot of weight for 180-pound.
Yeah, Tanner was telling me that number, and I
Yeah.
thought maybe he had it wrong right
Megan
away.
never got more than 380 in training, In the warm-up, she hit 400, and it actually moved pretty quick. And I said, well, maybe this is the spot. And she couldn't move it off the floor. Didn't give her any trouble, but I heard a lot of complaints from whichever fucking farmer's handle or frame handle they used was basically just 2 farmer's handles, but instead of them being like bolted together or like a kit together, it really was just a steel flat
that's
bar.
The MB Power Center.
Steel flat bar with a hole in it, which meant it could shift into like a diamond shape. So there's a lot of people whose shit got wonky by the end of it. That was some people's complaints, as it was starting to get out of square. And
I could see that.
So that was what that was. But
do you know what won that for like her class?
For her class, it was fucking insane.
Like over 10 or
23.
Oh,
yeah, and that's the girl that won overall.
Because I saw like some super heavyweight men that did like 17 or something too,
at like 800 pounds.
840. Jeez. What won the log for her class? Do you know? Was it like under 10?
No, I think it was like 10 or 11 or something like that. Yeah,
that's crazy too.
That's insane. Even like the men, it's like
there's
some of the
guys doing like 7 or 8 reps of 320.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
Now that the log is the one event that I'm certain that I could have gone up there and probably put up maybe 3 or 4 reps at that 320. I'm pretty sure of that. That's the only one that I could have been like, I am competitive in this competition. Here I am. Look at me. I did a thing. I'm probably in the upper middle of the pack.
Luckily, you just got to act injured.
It's first though, so and then after
you just
that,
act injured.
All I do every time I do a thing, I just
you're like,
on my shoulder. I got a shoulder.
Just push those logs.
I did
so
get asked
fast.
a lot if I was competing,
yeah.
and because I'm big.
Yeah, right.
But like, the guys were fucking huge. Like there was like 30 guys there that were bigger than me, and all of them were stronger than me. Most of the ones smaller than me were stronger than me. They're fucking.
That's the thing to consider is
the
the competition level at this is, and we
pretty
talked
high.
about that too. How see what happens is, locally, all those people are probably the best, of course, at wherever they're from. But even like around here, locally, we do well at these things. And so that's people's expectation that you're really good at it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then you go, and the competition there is like a whole another thing that people that aren't that into it don't understand.
No, they have no idea.
They don't understand that at all.
It's hardly even the same playing field between like the top 5 and the rest of what's happening.
So then they ask how you did, and you're like, yeah, I mean, like I got crushed by the people that are really good at it. And they're like, oh, I guess I thought you were strong.
Good. Like, what are you, some kind of pussy?
Yeah, did you just suck?
But really, that'd be no different. When we were talking about this, it'd be no different than being like, oh yeah, I'm a pretty good golfer around here, and it's like, yeah, I'm in this golf invitational with all the some of the pros.
You got a pro am.
And then you go
like
and
semi-pro,
like you placed 180th. It's like, why'd you get 180th? Well, I was playing against pros. Like, it's about the same
beat
thing.
by 179 no-name pros. It's like, yeah, but they're all better
but they're
than me.
really good. Like there's people that live and breathe this shit like and nothing else. You know,
it was very interesting because just the sheer amount of strong people there. I mean, like there is a lot of really big, really strong people there, and when we moved on to like the frame deadlifts, guys were ripping that fucker off 10 plus times.
Yeah.
Plus, you couldn't strap in before the time started. So that girl that got 23 reps at 480 as a woman.
In how much time?
60 seconds.
Ooh, it was 60 seconds.
With strap in happening, which is like
that. In order to do that, that would have to feel like a paperweight to you. In order to do 23 in 60 seconds.
Plus you had to wait for a down command.
Yeah, that's like
so you're down.
Like it would literally have to be
down.
Like just of the weight of no consequence to you. You know, where like if
that's
you
what
did
got
135 on a
that's what got me on like the Atlas stones. Is there was some people, there was women hitting like 15, 16 reps with the fucking Atlas stone. I don't remember what won the men's was like 7.
Yeah,
or 8 reps.
I think it was under 10.
Heavy.
Those super heavy, those 3
like
super heavies all went together.
360.
Yeah. I think it might have been 8.
8 at like 360.
Yeah.
And all I know is 335, 340, 335 is what ours is.
330.
330-ish.
Yeah.
Was like, I got it 3 times. Fucked me up for 2-3 weeks. I hurt forever. Also, almost didn't get it. Every one of those times could have not gone over.
Yeah. And your bicep is completely
completely
just beat
fucked.
up from 2 attempts.
And so where are these people getting again? So I'm like, what's that? How much fucking stone can you lift? Like, are you a guy with like a 495-pound stone lift? Because there was some chicks there who were just like you could tell the people who it really is way below their maximal because they're not even getting. They're not even lapping. It's all one motion.
It's just
picking it up. That's like when you see like Half-Thor and them do stones.
Yeah, they one motion
until
most
maybe
of
the
them.
last stone.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll even one motion those.
Yeah, it's like they're just picking
the
something
floor.
off. It's like they're picking a basketball off the ground.
Yep, and it just goes straight, just through the hips,
Yep.
all the way up, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Once I kind of learned going to enough of these types of things, and I kind of told Megan the same thing. I was like, "Here's what happens. You're going to go here. You're going to be shy because everybody's big and strong and intimidating. You're not going to talk to anybody. And then about 3 hours left in the last day."
Like,
You start talking to people, and you're like, "Oh, these people
like
are
the same
great.
stuff
Like,
I
why
like?"
wouldn't I have talked to you the whole time? Oh shit!"
You're just like
So
me.
we kind of made a point to make sure we were like communicating with people while we were there, and it was really nice. We met a lot of really nice, cool people, and so that part was fun. It was a really good, fun group of people to have. There wasn't a lot of people who were pricks or anything.
Was everyone like, oh, you're the guy from Massenomics podcast?
No, only a
That's
few.
always talking about dick pics.
I did make a. I did obviously wear my Massenomics stuff the whole time, and I had a few people like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna buy that shirt," you know. I was like,
You said we'll do it right now.
also showed him the
Like,
flask.
show me on your
I
phone.
was like carrying the flasks around,
Yeah.
which I had a new one every day.
like holding it like this.
Yeah,
as
because
you
I'm not
walk through.
stupid. I legitimately made a point to like make sure that I was holding it so that the logos were not in my hand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not dumb.
Right.
It's like me at like Cale Beck was wearing his starting strongman shirt. I was like, yeah, he fucking gets it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you got a thing, you better be about that thing.
Right. If
So-
you're not, how do you expect
Yeah,
other
if you're
people
not like
to?
yeah. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. The banquet afterwards was $90. Food was pretty good. Banquet, it's just an awards mix. Just reading off stuff, a couple nice speeches, and like Dion there, it's her like life's work. The gal who's like the president of Strongman Corp.
Was
and-
there any talk at all about U.S. strongman
No,
versus
nothing,
No, they wouldn't,
nothing.
I'm sure.
No.
But because that's the other thing. There is a whole other Strongman Nationals that has
Yeah.
like 200 people that go to it,
And that's
too.
in, like, New
it was in
Jersey
Detroit
this
this
year, or
year.
Detroit?
This last year was in Detroit.
Do they get a lot of the same competitors?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would
Is there
assume there's
pro
some
cards
carry.
that they do too? Because now this whole thing is about pro cards, and it's like
From what I understand, Nationals is basically a qualifier for the Arnold, right? Like
This
people
one, yeah.
people do Nationals in order to make it to the
This
Arnold.
one now, basically, I don't remember how it all played out, but like the top X
8
amount of finishers, depending on your subclasses and shit like that, overall and subclasses, you got somebody X amount of people made it to the Arnold, and then like the top 3 or something like that got their pro card. I think top 3 in each subclass got their pro card. Maybe it's top 3 overall, and then the top 8 get whatever. But I don't even know what the pro card means. It seems like a thing a lot of people wanted. Obviously, like it'd be cool to say you're a pro strongman.
Yeah.
But like, so what does it?
Then the money
does
starts just coming in the
Corp
mail?
start paying you?
Yeah,
That's
I
my
doubt
question.
it, yeah.
Because they probably don't.
No. But
So like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. It
but
seems like
I mean, I guess I'd take it if
this the way
get
that
some
these
sort of
people approach
podcasting pro card.
yeah, like went and
84
We got to hit 100
episodes.
episodes.
Yep, pro
100
card.
episodes.
and it's literally a card you get that just says pro.
Well, it's probably laminated though. So
But a lot of these people, it seems like they have to do competition throughout the year to qualify for nationals. So then, there's kind of a large pool of people that qualify for nationals, and then all these people, the best of those ones, they're coming to nationals in hopes of making the Arnold.
Yep.
Like that's kind of the stepping stone.
And that's through Strongman Corp.
Yes, that's Strongman
USS
Corp.
has nothing to do with the Arnold, as
No,
far as I know.
don't think so. So, I
if
don't
you wanna
know
go
what
to the
they're.
Arnold-
I think they do have something that you can qualify through that other one,
But
and
it's
I
not
don't know.
the Arnold.
No, I don't think it's the Arnold. But this Strongman Corp Nationals is a feeder for the Arnold, because that's like a really big deal to make the.
and that's got to be one of the
Arnold.
bigger
Yeah.
events you could ever do.
I think that's probably for an amateur strongman. That's the. Like you've made it, or you're like, I made the Arnold,
which makes sense.
yeah.
One thing was that at the banquet also is $90,
How much were beers?
$12. domestic,
modestly priced.
$12 domestic beer, which is for real the worst that it's going to get in Vegas. I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe it. So
you're like, just bring me a case, put it on my tab.
Listen, I roll pretty deep here. You know,
Bottle service, you got a bottle of Bud
Here's
Light.
100. I won't be drunk.
Yeah. Well, that was my thing. Is I told and it's the same thing at the pool. So this is a funny story. I go to the pool and I'm like,
Did they have a nice pool?
I was.
Was there a lot of people there?
Let's just say after about 1 p.m., the Flamingo blocks out the entire sun from the Link Hotel pool. So don't go to that one. But anyway, I was at the fucking pool and I go. This was like Thursday, kind of our off day. And
Is there a lot of strongman people just around, or not?
Not the pool.
Okay, no.
You know, they're busy eating.
They got strong
sleeping.
stuff to do.
And also, I don't know how many were there at that time. There was a lot in the hotel. Like I would,
you just see people around, you'd be like, strongman thing?
Oh yeah, it was
Strongman
all the time.
Yeah.
I had people. My joke was every time I'd see a huge person, I'd be like, "You're here for the ping pong tournament?" And that always got a good laugh and broke the ice.
It's funny.
And I had a couple people who would just spot me and go, "Do you know where the strongman thing is?" And I'd be like, "Come with me." So anyway, back to the pool, right? So I'm at the pool. I go to order a drink because I was going to go lift at Brandon Allen's in like 4 hours. So I was like, I'll have a double while I'm here at the pool and then chill out for a few hours and then go lift. Relax, get some sun because Brandon Allen's got a pretty nice tan. I didn't want to, show up all pale in South Dakota eat. So I get there and order this drink, and he's like, "Well, the doubles come in this cup, and but you get this, and then your next drink is." And I swear to you, he said $3, and I'm like, "Oh, my man, like I like that." And he's like, "So that'll be $24." I was like, "Oh, well, I guess at least if the next ones are $3." I was like, "Maybe I won't go lift. Maybe I'll just take advantage of the 3." But I have the cup all weekend, so good. The pool's gonna be my spot, right? I just had the one, hung out for a little bit, went and lifted. Next evening, after the shit's over with, I go to the pool.
With your cup.
Take my trusty cup. I'm like, saving money. I'm so fucking smart. And I go there and I was like, set this down. I'd be like, I'd like a double Morgan Diet. He's like, all right. And he pulls it up and he goes, that'll be $21. And I'm like, but the guy said it would be $3. He was like, it's $3 off. And then the bartender like rolls his eyes and he goes, we would lose our ass if it was $3. I'm like, well, not really, because you got $24 for one fucking drink. And I come from a place where drinks are $3.
Yeah.
And none of our bars are going out of fucking business.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole. So I spent $55 on 2 drinks after tips.
Yeah.
I was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
And then, because I was like, at that, like, I can just go to my hotel room and drink and come back.
Yeah.
Like, I can drink fast. So I was like, so after put that one down, it was like, go to the hotel, drink a beer, carry 2, drink those on the way back, you know. But God, Vegas is just so inconvenient.
Did you see any bad injuries?
Nothing too major. Tex Martin, Big Tex Martin on Instagram.
I competed against him in Rapid City.
I didn't actually get a chance to talk to him, but I talked to it's either girlfriend or wife for a little bit.
So was she competing?
No.
Okay.
No, but Tex tore his quad.
On the frame
I don't think it
deadlift.
was super nasty, but it was enough to where he was shut down. He was moving around okay.
I think he had a good chance of winning the 265 weight class too.
I agree. I think he did. I think a lot of the things that were put up by other people were things that are within his within his.
And he was leading the one event he did get to finish. He was in first place in the 265. So
he's a big 265.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so he was probably. I'm trying to think of anything else that I saw. I don't think there was anything too major. A couple nosebleeds, a couple people passing out on the deadlift, a couple.
I saw.
Girl blew out her knee on the very last lift of the last stone of the last day.
Ooh, okay, that would suck.
Yeah. But also qualified for the Arnold.
That's all.
Probably not going to make it.
California's strongest man on the Hooseville Stone looked like he.
Oh yeah, I felt bad.
Yeah, I was like,
Andrew Wickham. He just had a rough. He's had a rough couple events. He just you're always the margins for error are pretty slim when the weights are that big, and I think he is like. He knows his events pretty well. Like he knows his event training. He's really strong. He knows his event training really well. And it was just a couple mistakes for him. But I think he was.
There's so many strong people there. There is no room for because
someone's he's fucking good. I mean, like he was off like that yoke where he just put it down, rushed the pick, and then had it down before the end. And they didn't give him a slide through. If they give you a slide through, if it slides past, they'll give you just a 2-second penalty.
So that cost him a ton because anyone that finishes
through, you're gonna get just a slow time.
Yeah.
But if you're a DNF with just a fucking distance, that puts you way back.
Right.
And that sucks.
And on the Husafel.
That's
tough. If you're gonna pass out, what do you do? Yeah, I mean,
well, that's what he passed out. Actually,
he just had a bad position.
Borderline. Like he was, you could see him stumbling in a way that he was like.
I think he picked it in either too high or too low, or it was like at a point where he's having trouble breathing. I didn't talk to him about this, but it just looked like and then he fell and went with it.
That 400 Husafel is the weight we did in Rapid City. And that is heavy. That sucks. There's, I think, 224 feet or something won it for the guys. And I was like, holy crap, that is insane. Because when you pick up a 400-pound Husafel stone, the split second I picked it up, and I've never trained it before, so it was really a shock to my body. But I was like, what in the fuck? This is
I need to get this off down.
Yeah, so that's
that is one of those events where as soon as you get it on you, you go, I want to quit, I want to quit, I want to quit, I want to quit, I want to quit.
Yeah.
And but the interesting thing too was there was a gal, the lightweight woman, middleweight. I think it was a middleweight. God, I don't remember. I'm gonna fuck it up. I think it was a lightweight woman. I think it might have been the gal that won it. Carried the Husafel stone 540 feet.
I thought someone went over 500.
That is down 60 foot down and back, fucking 5 times.
Yeah.
That's like almost a football field down and back.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And she smashed everybody.
Yeah.
It was twice as far as the next person, nearly. It was nuts. And that's an event Megan did pretty well at, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't crush a bunch of people, but that was her first event that she could get a score on the board.
Where you're competing with
there you are.
people.
You did it, you got moving. So she did it. She didn't maybe do as well as she wanted to, but she had never trained with that implement and was pretty happy with that. We get on to the next day. Next day was, what did we open with? Opened with the yoke then. And then and Megan did okay with that. Got a slide penalty at the end. Didn't move maybe as fast as she wanted, but she had never carried that 460-pound yoke. We did 380 in training 2 weeks ago, and even that was pushing it on her body to where I didn't want to go any heavier that close to the event. And I was like, you just have to understand that we're only adding basically two 35-pound plates or two 45-pound plates to this, and you're at your competition weight. So you can pick it, you can move it, but it didn't feel good in training for her. So it was a good confidence booster for her to pick up and carry 460 and finish it. So then was the stone. It's a stone of steel, which is always a fucking wild card. She had no practice with the stone of steel, some with our stones, but our stone, which one is it? The 160 or the 180?
180.
The 180 is
we got 120,
one of our more fucked up stones as far as
it's kind of rough.
And tack isn't great. It's just one of ours. And so she hasn't played with it a ton. Never had a lot of really good. I mean, she's had better luck with the 200-pound stone at our gym than the 180. So we didn't even get to do a lot of rep training with it because it was just too tough of a pick for her. So this deal going with gloves and tacky towel and all that shit.
What did you see most people doing? Gloves or no? Because I saw people just literally nothing, like a cut off sleeve and completely bare arms and hands.
Most of them had spray tack all over them.
Yeah. Did you see it? Where most people did they have the towels right next to them? And then,
yes, and everyone was spent 45 minutes putting rubbing towels all over their body.
Yeah.
So, but that was Megan. We didn't know. Also, side note. Megan's judge for that event was a guy, I'm going to fuck up the guy's actual name, but on Instagram, he's overweight too great. He's a big, fucking huge, strong dude. Used to be a big fat guy. I started following him forever ago when I was a big fat guy. So he's a guy that's been like super like, it's like, oh man, this fucking dude. And then he's judging her. So it was great for Megan because she had never done that event. And she goes through, she gets the first one over, and he's fucking just right in her face. Like, so he was the shit. So give him a follow on Instagram. He's a really, really good dude to have there for her. Also, so she ended up with 3 reps on that stone, which we went into that hoping for 1. I was like, let's get you 1. That was a big win for her. So
Yeah.
Overall, she finished like 35th out of 41 or 42, which that generally, I suppose, was disappointing to her. But like I told her, I was like, you got to go back and look at your events. Like you zeroed the 2 we thought you were going to zero, and you did as well or slightly better as we thought on the others.
And how long have some of them probably been doing this too?
Yeah. I mean, she's basically done this since March.
You're not doing 23 reps of whatever it is, unless you've been doing this for a little while.
And I think that gal that did that was has a powerlifting background. I think like a 400 or 500 pounds in her squat, and like I mean, she's like a legitimately strong, really strong chick. So, but it was all good. It was a lot of fun. I fucking hate Vegas so much. So I'm super stoked to be home. But no, it was good. Also, Martins Lixus was one of the judges there.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw he was. You didn't draw him on anything, did you?
No, she was going to on the yoke, but he switched out right there. But he was there. I don't know if it's girlfriend or wife is Rebecca Rowley was kind of one of the near favorites in Megan's weight class there. She had a rough round. I think ended up finishing like top 10. But
I don't know if Brian Alsruhe was there or not. He's never state or something on.
He was there.
Yeah, he wasn't competing, I don't think, but I think he was there.
He was there. I know simply because I saw a bunch of his shirts and stuff around.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
He does strongman. He's really strong.
Yeah, so I don't know him personally, but I had somebody else ask me that today. I think Corey Weisbeck asked me that today, and I was like, I know the name, and I know he was there, or at least a bunch of motherfuckers with his shirt.
Yeah, he was there. I'm pretty sure.
But it was. But anyway, like Martins, for a guy that got 4th, was it 3rd or 4th this year?
He didn't podium, I don't think.
So he would have got 4th. Yeah. 4th at Worlds this year.
Yeah.
And we only saw him from the stage at the Arnold. Not as big as I thought.
He's not as big. Yeah.
Like Wickham's as big or bigger than Martins is.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. Because he's one of the strongest guys in the world.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now,
he basically, what was the order at Eddie Halfthor?
And
Shaw was
Shaw 3rd, or did Shaw drop even further? But anyway, like to be right in that company with those guys and being, by my guess, 80 to 100 pounds lighter than them is pretty fucking impressive. He's not massively tall. I guess 6'3". So like I was impressed. I mean, not that he's a small guy because he's a fucking truck.
Yeah, but he's not. Like, doesn't look like we've seen Brian Shaw.
Yeah, like I stood next to Martins many times. You know, when we were kind of getting Megan ready, and they were in kind of the same lanes and stuff, and like I was like, no shit. I was like, maybe you just don't have to get. It's not a quest for hugeness.
Yeah,
I mean it is.
I think he's really proficient in his events.
I think he moves
too.
really well too.
Yeah.
But I was pretty impressed with that, having seen that he's not a fucking giant. You know, like Brian Shaw looks like the guy that should finish top 5 at Worlds.
Yeah.
Martins, I mean, really has to fucking earn it at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was a lot of fun. But that's about all I've got as far as the wrap up for Vegas.
That last thing you were just talking about reminded me of an important question I've been meaning to ask you guys. Are you guys ready for my question? Do you guys think hydration is important?
It's funny that you mentioned that, Tanner, because I've been thinking a lot about the importance of hydration myself lately. Seems like it might be kind of a big deal.
You know, I think you two are onto something. As you two were talking, I just made a quick search on Ask Jeeves, my personal favorite search engine. And it turns out that 80% of the human brain is made up of water.
Fact.
And good hydration can actually help reduce cavities and tooth decay.
Wow. That's astonishing, Tommy.
It really is, Tyler. But how are we supposed to stay hydrated all the time? What could we put our water in that would keep it cold, be portable enough for our busy schedules, and look really stylish, all at the same time?
I've got it, guys. The Flex Flask by Massenomics.
In parentheses, excited. Oh, my bad. The Flex Flask by Massenomics. What the heck is that?
Well, it's this amazing liquid container that holds 41 ounces of anything you choose. It's made from double wall stainless steel, which helps keep your drinks colder longer and has a wide mouth lid.
That all sounds good. But the Flex Flask probably doesn't come in cool designs or any different color options to match my personal taste.
That's not true, Tanner. I just checked on Massenomics.com. There are 3 different Flex Flask designs, and each one takes my breath away. And they come in your choice of brilliant white or a stealthy matte black.
Well, that does it. I'm convinced, guys. I'm going to go to Massenomics.com right now and buy one.
You better hurry, Tanner. I might just beat you to it and buy them all out of stock. Everyone laughs together. Oh, we're not supposed to say that part.
So that was brought to you by our sponsor.
Our sponsor, Massenomics.
Massenomics.com.
And the Flex Flask.
The Flex Flask.
It's the flexiest flask.
There it is.
That was fun.
That was a good ad read.
I kind of like the script reading thing, guys.
They must pay us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way, guys, we're getting down there on time. It is the week of Thanksgiving, and the week of Thanksgiving is all about giving thanks. And what more? Let me back that up. I think now would be an excellent time for us to talk about everything that we're thankful for in the world of fitness and lifting.
That's a good idea.
Because there's so much to be thankful for. I mean, the hard part's going to be really narrowing it down to just a few things to fit on this episode.
I'm thankful that apparently SBD's apparel is sized in a way that's supposed to make you feel enormous. I bought a 2XL shirt, as I always buy, that fit like a medium. Then bought a 3X that fit like also a medium. And now I'm wearing a 4XL. So apparently I'm a 4XL kind of guy, which is good.
Yeah.
Thanks, SBD.
Yeah, that's really good.
What's something that you're thankful for?
You know, I'm thankful for our top-notch training facility. You know, we got all the toys around. It's I could really go in depth on all of them, but you know, just bars alone, we have more bars than most people in one gym than most people will ever see in their whole life.
Than most people ever need for any real reason.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Yeah. But we have them.
Yeah. I'm pretty thankful for all of our podcast listeners that are out there. And I'm
the ever-growing podcast audience.
I'm thankful for each and every one of you that give us the motivation to keep doing this that we're doing here.
I'm also thankful for Nevada's recreational marijuana laws. Tommy.
Are you thankful for $12 beers, or is that
not so much?
Oh,
no.
not so much. Okay.
I am thankful back into the land of $2 beers and $3 cocktails.
where the beer flows like water?
The beer flows like wine.
I am also thankful for anyone that's ever even stopped by the website to check it out. You know, the reason we can keep this stuff going not only is from the listeners, but I believe there's also a good chunk of listeners that have maybe even never swung by the website. That's true. If you want to be in my thankful group, you can just hop over there and check it out. I think you'll find some stuff you like.
There's all kinds of articles there. Check those out. And there's all kinds of good stuff for sale.
What type of good stuff?
I've got it,
you
guys.
Were just talking about Oh, that was Tommy's line. Damn it!
I'm thankful that I have a wife that allows me to go to the gym as much as I do, because anyone out there that's single now, and if you're a regular gym goer, that is something you're going to want to think about if you're going to decide to not be single anymore. Because
you're going to have to run that by.
Yeah, because that's a huge time commitment. And, I mean, I've seen firsthand a lot of people that does not work out for. So
get a new girlfriend,
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. So I'm thankful that I do have a wife that allows me to spend just an absurd amount of time on that and this and all things in between.
I'm pretty thankful that I don't have a real job, so that I just hang out at a gym all day and yet still go to a different gym to lift.
I think that's why everyone tries to quit their job, is so that they can be a part of two different gyms.
Yeah.
I think that's everyone's ultimate goal.
I'm also thankful for the entire 2 years at Massenomics Gym because we are celebrating this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah.
We will not be doing a party cast this year due to mostly us not wanting to be super embarrassed with our own behavior.
We'll keep the.
We'll be embarrassed,
Yeah.
but we're not going to share that with you.
We'll probably podcast the day after, I suppose, and we cover the
Oh
highlights.
yeah,
and,
that's right. Fuck.
Yeah, you'll catch it all secondhand.
Yeah.
Which is best for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know what it would be like, you can just listen to last year's, and it would give you a good indication.
I mean, you don't have to. We
Yeah.
don't even have that available anymore, probably.
Yeah. Someone's going to be thankful for some top-notch
that
prizes
down at-
too, though.
Yeah. A member is going to win a quarter of beef.
A quarter pound of beef.
Yeah, a full quarter pound from Wendy's.
And that is down at the basement of the Dakota Territory Brewing.
Yeah, Dakota Territory Brewing, Aberdeen, South Dakota.
We have the inside track on breweries that are not yet even open.
Yeah,
It is not even open yet.
yeah.
We're that ingrained in the community.
Not sure if that's legal, so maybe we don't talk about that.
We'll edit that out in post.
Yeah, we do lots of post editing.
A lot of it. I am also thankful for spotters from Selby. They're known to be the best spotters, and
I have heard an old Chinese proverb that I think it goes, "You always want a spotter from Selby."
yeah, I think that's what it translates to. I'm pretty sure.
From Mandarin or whatever. I'm thankful for the unreasonable amount of fucking like fitness equipment and body strapping gear that I have now at this point.
Body strapping
Like,
gear.
I got,
what
like-
is body
I
strapping
got
gear?
like all my wraps and sleeves, and I got some of the. I finally got some of the slingshot forearm elbow cuff things.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah.
got to use those today to bench for the first time. Felt pretty good.
I see Ryan.
He has one too.
just
He
got
said he
that, too.
enjoyed it.
I got some of the new SBD navy blue, basically also still black knee sleeves, and I would have totally got the black because that's what I wanted, except they didn't have them in my size. It was pretty funny as I'm trying them on, which the first time you put them on sucks anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm like expecting it to be difficult, and the guy's like, I think he was just stroking my ego. He's like, I mean, with the size of your calves, you're just going to need a bigger pair. And I'm like, oh, shucks. Thank you. So I guess I'm thankful for my calves and my knee sleeves.
Would you say you're thankful for SBD making navy as well?
Nah,
No.
not a great look, in my opinion. I don't know. Like we were talking earlier, like red with black stitching would have been sweet.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they're holding out because sales are going to double overnight.
That'll
when
be
those
Black
when those
Friday.
red ones drop. Yeah. Yeah.
I bet they will. That will happen someday, though.
Yeah. It's got to.
Yeah.
They should release just like a yellow pair just to motherfuck Titan too.
Doesn't anyone like that color though? Like, doesn't anyone want them?
No, I
yeah.
can't. I don't even understand why they make their shit so ugly.
Yeah.
They could use help in the design department
Yeah.
on a lot of things, not just their knee sleeves.
Right.
Tommy, we tried contacting them.
I haven't, but
I'm thankful.
that's
for,
a lot of momentum.
I'm
to
thankful for Tommy D Creative and TommyDCreative.com for all their super dope
keeping the dream alive.
keeping the dream alive down at my CrossFit gym.
That's right. Is there any particular Thanksgiving foods you guys are thankful for?
You know, I actually don't really give a shit about turkey in general, so I don't get super worked up about
I've
it.
never asked you guys, are you guys white meat or dark meat people?
I like white.
I'm more of just a meat kind of guy. It doesn't really matter. Actually, honestly, I think for Thanksgiving, most of the time, my dad just smokes like a bunch of pork loin because it's easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my opinion, better.
I am kind of in agreement that turkey itself is not like.
I always
Like,
smother it all
doesn't-
in gravy.
yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick, I picked the dark meat because it seems to have a little more juice to it. But yeah, I smother it all in gravy anyway, so it kind of
I think the best move. I know a few people who cook. They'll cook like a whole prime rib or two.
Yeah.
and that's what they'll have. Which that's
the way to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It is the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have the patience or money to be one of those people, but If you are one of those people and you'd like to feed me, let me know.
I'm also not real big into like pies and stuff, so that part of
Really?
it doesn't.
See, I enjoy a good pecan pie.
I get like a pumpkin pie and a cheesecake.
Yeah, you got to
put in my face like that time of year.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the one time because I'm never making one of those and I'm not buying one, so it's like the one time of the year, maybe besides Christmas that.
When did I see a thing? Maybe it was just conjecture, but someone was saying that Eddie Hall was eating like 4 cheesecakes a day. Is that real?
I don't know. And that one that of Brian Shaw eating, he was eating cheesecake that day, and he's like, "Well, you can't just leave half a cheesecake around." So he ate like the rest of his cheesecake.
Yeah. And it wasn't like one extra slice.
Yeah,
it was like 4 slices.
I feel like that's got to do something to your insides. Like, how much diarrhea do you have to have, or how long do you have to eat cheesecake before your body just accepts that this is what we deal with now?
Things are moving so much through Brian Shaw's plumbing that like. I don't think diarrhea is really a thing for him.
It's just stuff coming out.
Yeah, it just turns into muscle and then just comes out as like it probably comes out in cans.
That's the thing. They never talk about that in any of these documentaries.
They really
always
don't
talk
go,
about the eating.
They really don't go in depth
if you're eating
on the
that
cleanup.
much, what do you think's going on the other end?
Yeah,
my go-to when we're at the Arnold this year, when I get to one of those guys, is going to be a few questions.
Well, first of all,
one is going to be how much fun is it flying on planes? What's like the worst airplane story you ever had? The second one is going to be which of the strongman competitors is the stinkiest?
Yep.
And then the third is going to be tell me a story about how often and what your poops are like.
like, spare no details.
Which strongman competitor do you think is the stinkiest?
I don't want to call anybody out in case I get to interview them.
I think there's one that comes to mind that we probably won't interview him, so it's probably okay. And he might smell perfectly fine, but I think maybe Dimitar is the stinkiest.
Is it maybe just because he has the most foreign sounding name? You're like, he probably is from a place where armpit is the huge. Yeah, so I think that's got us about to the end
I
here.
think we said we're pretty thankful for everything.
Yep.
And maybe most importantly though, I think we can all agree on this one. We're thankful for the crew we have in Massenomics, in the gym, the people that listen to this. That's what makes it all go around.
That's what makes it tick.
Yep. All you fucking losers out there. Nothing better to do than lift weights.
Shitty assholes.
Listen to weightlifting podcasts and ignoring your family while you're listening to us.
Yeah. Ryan Mercer, you're still a good fan.
Yeah. Ryan Mercer for the win. Thanks for the review. Every one of you who aren't Ryan Mercer, who didn't leave us reviews, we're still thankful for you, but get on it. I don't want to be mean going into the holiday. So thanks a lot for listening to us, everybody. Please, like we talked about earlier, go to Massenomics.com. There you're going to find the Flex Flask, the glorious Flex Flask, coming in 6 different colors and designs, right? 6?
But it probably doesn't even come in any cool colors or designs that fit my personal taste.
Oh, I bet it does, Tanner. Also, the shirts, the hats, all the good stuff is going to be there. You can get yourself a... Do we sell the banners on there?
Yep.
Yeah, get yourself a super dope Massenomics banner. Also, you're going to find all our archives of articles, videos, the good stuff. Make sure you go to youtube.com/Massenomics. Subscribe to the page there. We have videos from all our Arnold interviews last year are there, as well as all the podcast video if you haven't been watching. What else we got? Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to us on Facebook. If you have any official business, email us at getbig@massenomics.com. That's where we handle all of our sponsorship money. If you want equipment reviewed, you want to send anything our way, shoot us that way. I think that's everything.
That sounds
like
a
most
lot.
of it.
All right. Remember when we were going to split that out and each of us were going to pass that around and I never did that?
Qualified to handle
Yeah,
that.
I couldn't handle that kind of thing.
I thought we did pretty well with the Flex Flask read, but maybe you guys could.
Maybe we should just start scripting everything on the podcast.
The whole thing, and now it'll just be pages.
Hey, Tanner, what did you think about Las Vegas? Oh, never mind. That was me. So That'll do it for us today. I'm Tyler. You can follow me on Instagram at Tyler F. and Stone. That's Tyler EFF Stone. Tommy?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
And Tanner?
The Massenomics Instagram account at Massenomics. Check us out on Instagram.
Right. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Have a wonderful festive holiday weekend and stay strong.
See you later.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears. You're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.